Doot, 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 doot. Do 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 do. Zoom is messed up, so we can't play our music. La 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 la. La 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 is made up. La 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 la.
Thank you, Rosie, for reminding us how it goes.
Hi everyone, I'm Nick.
I'm Jean-Luc.
And yes, we can't do our intro this week. We're having major issues since the latest Zoom update. We can't play music right now or any videos on our Zoom. We can't share.
Hear us. Do you guys hear us?
Well, they're right there.
Okay, you guys do.
Why do you mean they can't hear us?
Someone says we don't hear you, so I was just making sure.
Is it you, maybe?
I don't know. No.
Okay, we're all good.
We're all good?
Okay,
excellent.
Cool. So yeah, welcome tonight. We have a cool show for you. We're going to share you guys what we did this weekend, some NSVs we came across, some other thoughts of things that kind of came through our minds. We're also going to be talking about me today.
Me.
Which is the word of the day. Me.
Me.
And we don't mean me. We mean me, you know, yourself. We're talking about each of our own persons and his journey. And that's why the word me, iced tea, which we'll talk about in a bit. Iced tea, yummy. So me is the word for tonight. We're going to talk first a bit about our week. Share some of our mail we got. We've changed where we show our mail now.
So we've decided now on Friday nights when we go to our PO box that we go live. We're going to go live and open the mail right then and there because it's just so much fun to get it and open it. And I know, you know what, people send us stuff and we like opening it and it gives it a little bit more recognition for the people that do send us stuff, and we want to always say thank you to them. But
exactly,
we'll always mention it on Sundays, but that's when we're going live on Fridays. It's fun for us. We like opening it and getting people, having people see our reactions to opening stuff.
Yeah,
because it means the world to us when we do get mail from all of you guys.
And the same thing,
we're
also doing the same thing with our weigh-ins. We used to actually go live and weigh in our group. We're now switched it to our page so that it's more public, so that you guys can actually share them now. Because when we used to do it in our groups, no one can share. We often got people ask us like, oh, I want to share, but I can't. So now because it's on our page, you guys can share anywhere you want now. So if you have other people who are struggling with their scales and they don't understand our philosophy with the weighing in and why we just have fun with it every week, you can share the videos now. So, and we'll always be sharing the actual final clips like we always been doing. We're just trying to change things up like we always do. You guys know us. I know that some people have been here with us for like 3 years. We've changed so much since the beginning. We used to have a no Sunday night chat.
Nope.
And then there was a YouTube Sunday night chat, which is text and chatting in text.
And then at one point there was a Saturday workshop roulette.
Yeah. And then we combined it and made Sunday Beachside Fireside Chat.
Beachside Fireside Chat.
So we're always
my favorite one so far.
Yeah, we're always changing and we realize we love this. This is not changing now. No. Like we're keeping this the way it is.
There will never not be a Sunday night
a Beachside Chat with us.
Unless something emergency.
We're on a vacation somewhere. Then
and who knows? Maybe Rosie will just take over that weekend.
We'll make her the hostess with the mostest that week.
I'm sure a lot of you could do this. Oh yeah, honestly,
definitely. We can have a guest host someday. We go on vacation.
We should totally have a guest host where we sit in the audience and they have to host the show.
And you not talk? Me not talk? I mean, either of us not talking. I said you, but it's really the two of us. I'm not gonna lie. I'm in the same boat.
I was gonna say I'm not talking for the rest of the show, but I know that's a lie.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Because I'll be like this. He'll be saying, and I'll be like. I'll have to write everything down to remember to tell you after the show.
Exactly. So, okay, so we want to talk about our mail. Yes. So there's a few things we want to touch upon. So, we got some letters and some packages.
We got some cute things. And
so you want to do that one?
Yes, Marjorie. Thank you so much. Marjorie, I've seen Marjorie been doing this. She's been sending everybody who's been visiting Antonetta in her body studio some crocheted stars, and she's calling us all superstars. So Nick and I both got one for visiting the body studio, and I love it because we're going to probably put these in our Christmas tree.
Yes, we will.
They're going to be hung up in our Christmas tree.
Yeah. So we got two of those.
I love the lime green and black.
And she made me blue. She
made blue.
She knows.
She knows.
She knows. She knows. She knows. She knows. Obviously, you guys obviously have noticed the color that appears the most often, right?
Right.
On my wardrobe. And we also got a letter from Bonnie. So thank you, Bonnie. Of course, the kitty. Of course, kitties. It's us. And then we also got a package from Jerry. And I wanted to say thank you so much, Jerry, for sending this care package. And there's a whole story behind this package. So I'll show you the main star of this package.
Yes. He got
So-
iced tea.
so I'll also show you guys something
Oh
else
no,
down
let me
here.
show the camera. I'll bring the
No,
camera
they can
down.
see it. They can see it.
No, it's worth it because like if you see that little top
There's more
shelf
down
now,
there, and there's more in this bin
he's
here.
got iced tea for days.
So I'll kill you into the story. So
okay, more like weeks.
so we went to Windsor last weekend, and when we went in Windsor, Joyce, who's here with us tonight, gave me some iced tea because it's my favorite thing that I haven't had it at our grocery store for over a year.
And she told us that she had asked the grocery store when they were getting more, and they said Thursday. So we were there on Saturday, and so we ran to the grocery store right after, and there's about 20 of them. Maybe
So we bought
there.
like 14
10,
more.
10 or 14.
Yeah, so we bought 14 more. Bought them
He
home.
left some.
I left some. I don't take the whole shelf. I always leave some behind, even if it's just one. so the next day, this week, we go to the grocery store. Guess what's at a grocery store? Iced tea. I'm like, well, I can't just leave them there. I got 10 more.
You got 10 more.
And stock them away. Hey, I need to last the whole winter, people. I didn't take there was tons left. There was a lot left. So I didn't take the entire stock that was there.
Unfortunately, these ones are not available on
On Amazon,
We
yeah.
cannot get these ones
These
on
are
Amazon.
and they're only available in the summer, which I've realized because the last 2 years they always disappear in winter. And
Pull
these
up
are my
one of those.
these are my favorites. Like I love these.
This is what's even more interesting is these are the ones we normally get here. And these are the ones from Winnipeg,
yeah.
which we believe we've also seen in the
States,
US.
yeah.
So it's funny that this is the only one we've ever seen in Ontario. We've never seen this one in
Yeah,
Ontario
yeah.
sold at the
They're
store.
both
But
delicious. And what's funny, guys, and I'll give you guys, and then we got the ones. So Jerry sent the box full more. So I have tons of iced tea.
He has a lot of iced tea. That means I can actually drink iced tea.
Yeah,
now.
he can now
Because before I was never allowed to drink.
You got your K-cup coffee, honey. You drink your coffee. Don't touch my iced tea. That was how it used to be.
Jerry said they did.
came from the
Okay,
US.
thank you for
Thank you,
clarifying
Jerry.
that. We were like, I was like, I swear those are US. How'd she get them in Winnipeg? You're like, what the?
And I'll tell you guys a story behind the iced tea. And I think I've never really shared this before. So as a
Probably.
kid, you guys know the Nestea crystals that come in the tub. Not the small tub, the little yellow tub, the tall tub that was huge. That would last me about a week or two as a kid. I drank that like no tomorrow. And in university, when I got to university, it got even worse. I would go through 1 week. I would go through one. I had this big, massive, huge cup that would fill with sugar and is filled with water. I drank that all the time.
He did not follow the directions
No.
to those. It was like 5 scoops
Oh,
to
yeah.
the amount of
I
water.
liked it
So
very
It
sweet.
was basically just sugar.
And so there's a reason why, what I drank was exactly the same problem, right? A lot of sugar. And so when I started my journey in university, when I lost weight there, I actually gave up iced tea at that point. So it's been years I gave up iced tea. And I gave it up for years until I met Jean-Luc. I still didn't drink it when I met him. It's only when we discovered this that came out that I finally got to enjoy iced tea again. And that's why it's such a big, massive thing for my journey.
And he only uses one sachet for
Yes.
an entire thing. So
Yes.
he no longer drinks it as sweet
as I used to.
either.
So that's, to me, has been a very big, important thing for my journey. And which is funny because this week, our videos we're resharing this week. So I don't know if you guys have noticed for the last few weeks, we've had themes every week. 2 weeks ago was like a why and a goals week. And last week was all about our favorite things that we brought back from old videos. This week's topic is all about go-tos. The videos we'll be sharing will be some live shows we did on our food addiction and how we've changed our relationship with food. We're going to be resharing a video on our vegetables and how we use them. So you'll see that all pop up on our social media streams this week. Just look for the links and watch the videos there because there's some really good information on those from last 2 years ago.
I'm not sure if there's caffeine in here or
There
not.
probably is.
I'm not sure. I'm sure because it is made with black tea, and then the one
It's my one source of caffeine.
the
Remember,
one in Canada. Is
I
made
don't
with
drink coffee. I don't
green
drink
tea.
warm tea. I don't eat chocolate. So that's really my only source of caffeine.
I'll look into it and I'll post it on the page in the group.
But I love
on the
it. Like
page,
it's to me, it's a very crucial thing, and that's why this week's topic is about go-tos, because we all have things that we need in our journeys to survive and be able to last through these things. That's why I wanted to kind of highlight that.
Yeah, we all have our go-tos.
Want to talk about this?
Yes, we all
You
have our
talk about
go-tos.
this. I'll grab that.
I like how he tells me what to talk about every week.
Because
can
I just
never
blabbed for
talk.
20 minutes, so go.
Yes, but it's like I'll talk when I feel like talking. But so my mom, you remember we had mentioned my mom had made us we had given my mom all of these
Old clothes.
pieces of clothing, and she actually made our memorabilia strips that we had asked for. So like old t-shirts that we had, badges, things like that, like all sorts of stuff. T-shirts from Nick, t-shirts from me.
There's some funny stuff. This is our wedding shirt.
From when I was the Phantom in high school, our wedding shirts. This
We
says
wore this at our reception after
this was one of my very first t-shirts, and it's actually spells out gay, G-A-Y. It was one of my first gay t-shirts.
And then we also got these. These are some mostly from me. So I went to summer camp a lot as a kid.
Yeah, there's
And
some stuff from us.
And I had, so this our CN Tower Climb shirts.
Yeah,
the
first one?
The second time.
The second time?
Yeah. And then camp shirts and some stuff. This is upside down. Sorry. Camp shirts. This was university. This is my first time going to camp right here.
We were Fruit Loop superheroes for Halloween one year. Yeah.
And then we had.
And then that's Nick's.
This is my blanket from when I was a kid.
It was a sheet set. It was a sheet
set. And these were my comforters. And so the comforters were very, let's just say I
worn
destroyed
out.
this. I still use it in university. That's how long I used this comforter from childhood all the way to when I went to university.
It looked ratty-tatty.
It looked ratty-tatty when I met him. And it was like in a bucket. And so now she took the pieces that looked the best and then he left me at least with one small memory of.
It was originally going to become like a wall hanging in our house, but now we don't really have walls in the condo. Yeah. So we just thought, you know what, it would still be cool as a memory to put in our box in our memory box and be able to pull it out from time to time. We like that kind of
Another
stuff.
thing too is we're never going to wear these clothes again. So I have the full fabric taking up space. So for us, it was kind of like, okay, let's get rid of the pieces that we don't care about. Let's keep the important parts and then reduce the amount of storage that we have in our home.
Exactly.
And so it's all part of like, you guys know organization, that's what we do. And so our lives are always like that. Even when we think of ways to reduce our souvenirs.
When you really think about all the shirts and all that, the amount of space.
It was a bin.
It was a full bin. And now it's down to like something about this. If we stack it up, it's about this high.
Yeah. And I know like people say, well, we could have gave it away as that, but these are mementos. I couldn't have given those shirts away. Like that one Don Island camp shirt is my first time going to camp. I was 9 years old and I still have this t-shirt here. So like for me, to me, it's something that I just don't want to get rid of. Right. So
definitely.
So it's cool to have that. And so we got our mail. We also weighed in this week. Our weights have actually been went down this week. We tracked every single day this week, no matter what happened. We tracked everything we ate. We even made sure throughout the week to stay within our points. We had one night on Thursday we went a bit above. Yesterday we went above, tracked everything. We'll talk about what we did yesterday and what we ate, but we tracked everything and our weights went down, even though we still indulged, and we're not done. Like we always talk about this, guys. Our journey is always like. And our 80-20 video came out about that today. So.
Yeah, and the thing is we tracked, we lost, but we could have tracked and gained. Yeah. And either way, it wouldn't have mattered. We still tracked.
Yeah.
And that's what we're proud of right now. We're so proud. Even last night, I came back and it was harder to track near the end of the night because I couldn't remember everything. And it wasn't with Paula. We were good with Paula. It wasn't until after that when we got home where it was late, it was night. We were like, oh, what do we do? Our routine was not our normal routine. And so we indulged and we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I don't feel the guilt anymore.
No.
It's so strange. I don't feel guilt. And that's a huge NSV. Me.
Mm. That's right, Lynn. She just went, oh, I just saw that reaction. Good job, everybody. I love it. Okay, so other things that happened this week. So we did our live episode with Paula yesterday at her cottage or her family's cottage. It was an amazing day. And we kind of want to walk you guys through that day because there's a lot of things that happened for us that day. That kind of some new things that came to light. I shared a story with on the live yesterday. We shared a lot of stuff on the live yesterday, both on journey and off journey about our past, about different things that we enjoy. So if you haven't seen the interview that we did yesterday, it's on YouTube. Just go look for it. Just look for 21 questions part 3 and you'll find it right away. That's our third interview we did
with our lovely Oprah, which was Paula. Paula was amazing. She came out with some really good questions.
Yeah.
It was so fun spending the day with her.
Yeah. You want to share the story how getting there though, hon? Or you want to talk about body first?
Okay. So lo and behold, Thursday we figure out that the sound on our laptops is not working in Zoom anymore.
Just like we told you earlier.
And we had already planned with Paula that we were going to be spending the day with her. So we're like, Paula, sorry to say this, we were going to show up for the workshop, Paula's Saturday morning workshop at her house. We were going to do the workshop with her at her house. But when the sound wasn't working, we're like, okay, let's just go straight to the Abadi studio, do the class from there. So that way it's easier with the sound. And we're in Stouffville because we're heading to Paula's anyways to film.
And also we have to film volume 3 promo videos because guys know we're working on our body set volume 3 for September. So like it's perfect. It's 2 birds with 1 stone. We take care of all of it.
And we already have 4 songs of the video, 4 songs of the volume, 5 songs of the volume already choreographed. So we're like
5 out of 6 done. So we only have 1 left to do.
We're ahead of the game.
Yeah.
So we get there, great. We record, we do everything we need to do, blah, blah, blah. Paula shows up. Antonetta, how lovely Antonetta is, does not tell us she has an 11 o'clock appointment. And we're there, it's like 1:45. And then she's like, oh, I have an appointment at 11. And I'm like, why did you tell us? We would have left already. So anyways, we walk out and Paula's like, follow me. I'll send you to the address to the cottage.
So I only caught a glimpse of Paula's vehicle before she left, like a quick glimpse. And then she went in front of us. We followed her, but she had to turn on the main drag. And after she turned, like 5 cars went after her. Yeah. And I turned after and I was like, I think that's her. So I started following this vehicle.
Yes.
This vehicle I thought was her. So and then he also.
I had already put it into Waze because she sent me Google, but I don't use Google Maps. We use Waze all the time. So I put it into Waze. First address comes on, click. It's going the same direction she's going.
Okay, we're following the right person. So we're driving for a while, and as we're driving, I'm like, in my head, I'm still not sure if this is her.
The GPS keeps telling us to turn around. First of all,
and then like, well, she knows where she's going. She goes here all the time. We'll just keep following. And then the GPS says you're an hour away. You're now 10 minutes away. Now 20 minutes away.
We're like, how are we getting further to our destination?
And now we're worried. Are we following a completely wrong person? So at one point,
we're looking for the shape of Paula's hair or head.
Yeah. Can we see her? I'm looking in the rear view mirror, the back mirror. Is she there? Can I see her? Nothing. We're driving about 50 minutes at this point, and we're like, okay, we knew the general area where her cottage was. Like, we're driving in the right area.
But why is the GPS so messed up?
So when we got to a point where there was a fork in the road, we were expecting, based on the GPS, to go this way because there was a lake above. So like, there's no other way. But the car went the other. I'm like, oh crap! I don't think we're. And so but at that corner, I was able to look, and I saw her profile. Oh, it is Paula. Okay, we're following the right person. I'm like, so where the hell is the GPS taking us?
I decide to grab the phone again. I turn on Waze. I look at Waze. I'm like, oh, we're going to Orangeville, which is in the total opposite direction. So I'm like, but the same address, same street, same number. So it was bringing us to Orangeville because I pressed the very first one. It didn't even dawn on me that there was multiple addresses.
You don't think there's multiple same street names in cities? Don't look for like
in the area we were at, the odds that Orangeville was gonna pop up was not in my head.
Don't look for Main Street.
Yes.
Don't look for Main Street.
Why are you being a beep 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 right now?
So we made it. Obviously, we made it.
Well, when I put the address in, the GPS went 5 minutes away.
Yeah,
I was like, oh yay!
So we went the right way. We followed the right person. It was the whole time you're like, am I going? Is this right? And you don't want to ask questions because at first I didn't want to say anything to him, and I think we were both kind of just sitting in our own corners, like wondering, are we going the right way? And not saying anything to each other. And eventually, like, I think you're not. I don't know if it's the right person. He's like, me neither. I wasn't sure.
I wasn't sure either. I'm like, I knew it was a gray van.
Yeah. That's all we knew. And we're like, we're following a gray van.
It would have been hilarious if we would have parked behind them and then this person would have came out and we were like,
why are you following me?
That's not Paula.
Yeah. I was asking, why are you following me?
Big burly man comes out like, Paula?
Oh, it's like, oh, hey. Yeah. Either way, right? So we got there and they were such gracious hosts.
Well, first of all, this cottage is beautiful.
Yeah.
The gardens that they have, and this is just absolutely amazing. It was surreal. Like you walk to the backyard and you're right on the water. There's a dock right there. Like and so as many of you always say to us, you guys always say, oh, relax, get off social media. We actually did yesterday. We actually put our phones away. The only thing we took our phones out was to take pictures to make sure we can, remember the occasion and have pictures to share after. We didn't actually go on Facebook or anything and reply to anyone. We didn't post anything. That's why we came back yesterday on the way back, like, wow, there's like tons of posts that we didn't see, approve this, or like, oh, we missed this. Someone messaged us. Like, we had lots to catch up on. It was great to just unplug for about 8 hours of the day. Yeah, it was, you know what? It was so funny. We walked there. We know Paula, we know her husband, and we know her 2 children who are lovely, amazing people.
We met them a few times.
And to have her in-laws welcome us as openly as they have.
They were so nice.
They were just so nice. We spoke with them. It was just a lovely, lovely day. We did a lot of things that we haven't done in a long time or never done before, which was also very cool.
A lot of things happened. So we filmed the clip. What's funny is that we set up the actual area to film, and then we had to pull it all down because a rain cloud came, but it didn't rain. So we had to set it all back up again.
And then our hub didn't work.
Our hub didn't work.
Had to use their internet instead. And it was just like
no ordeal.
It always happens.
But we did have poutine for lunch.
We did.
We indulged.
She brought us to this chip stand.
Oh my God.
It looks like an old bus of some kind or trailer. And they had like fancy smancy.
Oh, I had regular. I can't change. I had to have the, and I explained it to Paula, right? I explained it yesterday. I said, I only have poutine once in a while. So if I have it now, I want to have a regular one because I can't have a different one that might not give me the craving that I'm craving for my really real one. So, but what?
There was a bunch of them. Like there was a bacon lettuce, a bacon ranch poutine. There was like all sorts of them. I had a sweet chili Thai one, which was delicious. So basically, it was your regular poutine, and on top of that, they cut up chicken tenders in a sweet chili Thai sauce and threw that on top with some onions and those crispy like noodles. And then Paula had a taco one, which was it looked amazing. We wish we would have taken a picture of it. And that's what Kim said. Kim said we need Paula's opinion on yesterday.
I'm gonna find her right now.
Let's find Paula. We're gonna find Paula and we're gonna spotlight her. So that was really, really good. It was so much fun. And we got to spend, so Paula, myself, and Bella, Paula's daughter, went to the chip stand, and it was funny. They was busy. Zero. Oh, we fell in love.
He hears you.
For a long time yesterday.
He is got to be one of the most well-behaved dogs I've ever met. Especially, and he listens to everything. Look at how cute he is. Hi, Paula.
Hello.
We're all like Zero. Oh, forget Paula. Here.
So
long time no see, my friends.
So it was and then we got to go do a lot of different activities. So Paula's husband took us on a sea-doo around the island, and he did it with Jean-Luc as well. So going on a sea-doo for the first time for Jean-Luc.
My first time as an adult. I only had done it as a child. I had never done it as an adult before.
And then we got to go tubing, and he tried to get us to flip off. But the first time we were strong enough to stay on.
Which I never tubed a day in my life before. And I cannot believe I just did it without even questioning. And I didn't even think, and for me, it wasn't even the tubing part. It was the fact that I was going onto a lake and that there could possibly be fish in this lake.
Yeah.
And that I couldn't see the water because it's a lake. It's not clear Caribbean water where you see the fish.
Yeah.
So I was super proud of myself that I didn't even allow that to stop me from trying something.
And we had a few NSVs today. And I also want to shout out the cannoli we got from Paula's mother-in-law that made us cannolis. They were so freaking good. I mean, Jean-Luc had 2, I had 1. It was delicious. It was definitely worth it.
I like how we had to tell that you all that I
had 1. He had 2.
I did, and I enjoyed both of them. And we looked on the app, and they were about 13 points each.
We put them all
approximately.
In.
So I said, okay, 13 sounds good. I'll put 13.
We put all our points in yesterday. We ate, indulged with that. It's okay. We tracked it and we're moving on.
So Paula, thank you so much. Yeah. And we just want to thank you for everything yesterday. We couldn't have had a better day.
It was our pleasure. It really was. I want to address talk about the life jacket though.
I didn't even think about that part.
Right? Yeah. So we have all these life jackets, various sizes of life jackets. And if any of you have ever been in that position where you go to a cottage or someone has a kayak and the life jacket situation, and you have that fear, right? Nothing's going to fit. None of them are going to fit. I see some people nodding their heads. And you just grabbed a life jacket, and I think we have such an array of them. And I think, Nick, you had to tighten it and then tighten it some more and tighten it some more. And it was
I put it on, and I was like, I've never had to tighten a life jacket before. Like, it's always been I had to loosen it to get it on. Now I was like,
and mine, I just grabbed one on that was beside me, and I put it on, and I zipped it up, and I went, wow, it fit. Because back in the day, I would grab one and I'd not be able to put it on at all. And then I'd have to go through and try to find one.
We had a lot of non-scale victories yesterday. There's a few more we'll talk about. But like Paula, again, like, thank you so much for just, putting up with us. We chatted for hours. We probably talked your ear off because we believe me, guys. If you think this is bad here, when you're with us, we just and we just talked for hours last night.
It was the best watching the sun go down. It was the best day. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I felt very honored to have a day with you. So
I felt honored too. Thank you so much.
Thank you again, my dear friend.
We'll do it again.
Yes. Definitely.
So I want to talk about some other non-scale victories, because I think these are things that I want to highlight, because again, sometimes we don't think of them as non-scale victories. So one thing for me that I want to talk about was when we went on the second time on the inner tube, we told Paula's husband, make us fall off.
Make us fall off.
Make it hard so that we fall off. He succeeded. I laughed at him for a bit because it took him a long time to get me off.
The first time he did it, we were it was new to me, and it was weird.
We can feel it in our arms today.
We could definitely feel it's my chest. I thought it was gonna be my neck, but it's like right here.
It's like, doing weights.
I'm like, oh my goodness, my boobicles really hurt today.
Boobicles?
Yes.
Boo, that's a new term.
I don't know. It just came out.
I just said chesticles.
My boobicles. I don't know. It came out. My chesticles. My chesticles hurt. But it was kind of really weird to sit there and think I'm holding on to this tube with a rope, and my arms are the only thing that are holding me up. And I would never, ever, ever, ever have done that before. Never, because I knew I didn't have the strength to keep up.
We were both shocked, and that's one of the things I don't think we actually talked about with Paul when we were there. But when we were on an inner tube, the reason we were laughing so much is we were shocked at how we were able and strong we were to stay on and not fall off. We were every time he tried to get us to fall off, and he tried.
And it's not like we didn't almost fall off.
Oh, at one point, at one point we were starting doing the Titanic, like never let go, Jean-Luc, never let go. And we're trying to hold on to each other because it was tough. It was hard to stay on, but we fought and never gave up.
Yeah.
And we tried to stay on as long as we could, until when we asked to get, then we did
when he was like hitting the,
then we're like, it's a little hard to hold on. And so each of us fell off.
We did.
In one of my non-scale victories, I don't know if anybody's ever gone through this, but if you're ever swimming somewhere where there's no bottom, where you can't touch the bottom, you try to get yourself back into a canoe, kayak, any type of tube, you can't get yourself back on because you can't get the lift and you don't have strong arm length to push yourself back on. I was able to get on the tube with Jean-Luc's help myself without using the Sea-Doo to climb back on and get on the actual. I was able to use my own brute strength to pull myself, and with the help of him, it was a dual effort to pull myself. And I'll be honest, when Jean-Luc tried it himself, I didn't want to pull too hard because of his wrists. He's hurt his wrist before. I didn't want to yank and then find out he needs his wrist for his job.
Me, and not only that, it's my shoulders. If my shoulder goes out, I can't work anymore. So I'm like, I really think about those things. Am I going to do something that's going to hurt me?
Yeah.
Holding on, I was already afraid. Holding on, going, if I fall off and I break something, what's going to happen? And those thoughts still go through in my head.
I'm not 22 anymore. Yeah. I'm 38 now.
I'm 44, and I'm like, I never did this in my 20s. What the hell am I doing this in my 40s?
Because you're living life now.
You know what? Something that made me and I just thought of it, and I mentioned it in our video. And I don't know if Ellen knows this, but I mentioned you in our video, Ellen, because Ellen from Delaware.
She had to leave. So
if she's not here,
she'll watch it later.
I mentioned her in the video because she went skydiving for her 60th birthday, and that really stood out to me. And I said, good for her. And if she can go skydiving at it doesn't matter how old you are, if you want to go, do it. And if you feel you are able to do it, do it. But I can hold onto a tube. I have a life jacket on. If I fall off, I know I'm not going to drown. I know I can swim. So many times we put limitations on ourselves, and I know there's always danger, but guess what? I can walk out the door and walk out of my house and be injured. I felt safe in the environment that I was in.
You're also surrounded by people that you knew that if something happened,
they would be right there in an instant to help me.
And that's trust as well. And that's what this community is about, right? It's about we all trying new things and we're all trusting each other to try to get us through these situations. It's the same kind of analogy, and that's what life is about. It's about
what was cool about yesterday is a really big me day.
Yeah.
It was a really big me day.
We both got to really enjoy our being, just us. And we also got to enjoy just being Jean-Luc and Nick and not have to worry about, taking this picture or replying to someone. It was really fun to just not have to deal with any of that. And it was also fun to just discover so many things. Again, this is 3 years in, guys. 3 years in. This is 2021. We started this January 2018. We went back in time. We started January 2018. 3 years, and we're still discovering non-scale victories. So I'm just send a message out to all of you guys on Facebook, on Zoom, on YouTube. Don't be afraid to try stuff. You might not do it right the first time. You might try it and hate it and not want to do it again, but try it. You might find something you enjoy so much that it becomes part of your life forever.
And we're not saying you need to go to the extremes and go skydiving and do that. Be excited about the things that you've never done before that you're willing to do now. Just like Bonnie said right here in the chat. Bonnie said, that's like me jumping in a puddle at 74 years old of age. It's awesome. And I laughed. Why aren't we jumping in puddles more often? Why aren't we finding the little things and enjoying them and making the little things big things, because they absolutely are.
Well, I want to actually give a shout out again to Paula, because yesterday when we were there, at one point, I when we got there, we found out we're going to Sea-Doo and probably going to tubing. I got so excited, and they all said like, "Wow, you get excited like a little kid." I do. That's something that I'm very innate. My mom can actually vouch for that. I
can vouch for it, because every time we would drive,
that's exactly it. I'm like, oh my god. Like I get totally excited like a little
kid.
We
would drive up to Cedar Point, to Canada's Wonderland. If we had not gone in a few years before our season passes at one point,
I go crazy in the car.
He was going crazy in the car, just seeing the roller coasters as we were driving through the entrance.
My anxiety, guys. Yeah. It's part of my anxiety issues, right? I get very excited about things, and so that pushes me. I can't even control it. Like sometimes people are like, "What, can't you?" No, I get so excited I can't even keep it inside myself. So.
And another thing that I'm really proud of myself is the fact that not only did I do the water thing, but the fact that I walked into the lake from the edge of the dock without even second guessing. And I just walked in, even knowing there could be fish in there. And then as I'm in the lake, Paula's lovely daughter goes, "Oh yeah, there's a fish that likes to sit around the
and nibble your feet."
And nibble your feet. And I'm like, what?
So I did the going Jean-Luc on a trip in Cuba.
I don't know if you can do it here. There's not.
No, I did the whole. I'm walking around him. He
swam around me.
Fish stay away. I was going around him to make sure no fish would.
Well, then Isabella all of a sudden goes, "Ah!" And she's like, "Oh, it just bit me." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" But I stayed in. I stayed in. I did not leave. I said, you know what? I've come a long way. I used to be afraid of birds. I'm afraid of fish. Fish are still
mice.
I'm afraid of mice.
They're so cute.
They're adorable.
Like, I don't want them in my house, but I mean, if I go somewhere and there's one running,
we have him.
Yeah, that's why he's here. He's a little tired. Oh my god! And I want to share something else. So the cats thought we were leaving on another trip yesterday. So the night before, we had our suitcases out. The cats came all night, like attention, like I love you, like trying to convince us not to leave the next day. It was adorable. And then when we came back the night out, they're like, "Okay, you only went for a few hours." Whew. Like it was, you could literally see in their faces, like, "Oh no, you might be going on a trip again." Yeah. No, don't leave me. Don't leave me with him. And then we like, no, Seba saying, "Don't leave me with him." And Kate was like, "Don't leave me with him."
Well, we'll say this, Paula. We came and sat on the couch when we got home last night, and in the hallway, let's just say there was a hissing match like you would not believe. We actually both had to get up
and split them apart.
The amount of fur that had been shed
by them fighting. They fight viciously.
I'd never seen that much fur though. There was a lot.
They fight viciously when they fight. And that's why.
And we've been reading that you have to stop them apart. Yeah, you have to split them apart. Don't let them fight. So
that was our weekend. So we had a lot of fun. We indulged, but today, right back on track. We actually had a delicious lunch. It was basically we had corn on the cob for lunch.
Corn and a big bowl of fruit, and then we had some
I made some granola. I made banana granola bars.
Banana bars.
So we had that as well today. And then for dinner, what did you make, honey? You have to tell them because it was really good.
I don't even know what I made because I wasn't sure. So I grabbed ground turkey because we had it thawed in the fridge already. So I used some ground turkey. What are you laughing at?
Lynn's craving a donut because of your shirt.
You're craving
not pizza.
You don't want pizza? They're all pool floaties, people. They're not food. They're all pool floaties. That's why I bought them. So, anyways, back to my dinner. I cooked up my ground turkey in the frying pan with some tamari, and I added some garlic and some jalapeno to it. And then I added the cup of quinoa to it, and I fried that all up after it was cooked. And then I decided to make a stir fry, but I was like, I'm going to make a roasted vegetable stir fry. Why fry it up in a frying pan? So I split up our veggies. I had some heirloom.
Of course, you can't do it
because he doesn't like half of the veggies I like. Yeah. So we went to on Friday. We decided to go to the local farmers market that's just down the street from where we live. They're open every Tuesday and Friday.
We went at lunch
and there was some amazing produce, some amazing green beans, and then we got some golden beets. And we love red beets, and we're like,
we never tried golden.
I don't think I had even tried them either. So we're like, let's get some golden beets. So tonight I said, let's cook up the golden beets. So I cut them up. I added some heirloom carrots to it, and to mine, you had what else? And cauliflower
for me.
And then for myself, I had onions, mushrooms, the heirloom carrots, everything else you name it, like everything in the kitchen sink. And I just put some spices in it,
baked it,
and roasted it in the oven. and then just put that on top of the quinoa ground
really
turkey
good.
mix, and it was
was really
delicious.
good.
Yeah,
Like, I
it was
mean,
absolutely.
I'm
really,
used
really
to
good.
I'm used to like stir fries where things are more
mushy. No, not mushy,
green,
but green, and
This was
everything.
a very it was a root vegetable almost full dinner, so it was the color wasn't exactly really pretty, but it was
very pretty.
I
It
thought
was red and orange.
Well, I like the way you cut the carrots. They're really cute because they were they always curled, so they did like a curly
heirloom
thing.
carrots, you cannot really. They're very, very thin and very,
So
very.
they curved when they cooked, and so they were all like these little curly, like almost pasta looking, like mac and cheese, like elbow noodles. Yeah, it was good.
It turned out really.
So if you
really
ever
good.
just try anything, guys. That's what this is all about. You know, you love ground turkey. You know, you love certain vegetables. Combine it in different ways, and that's how we come up with a lot of recipes. We just experiment, and if it works and it becomes something that we love, then we share it with you guys and make a recipe out of it. That's how we function about everything.
Just like what I made this week. I totally forgot about that. So I will not lie. I know maybe and a lot of you might not have seen this, but I had seen a video a couple weeks ago that they had taken spaghetti noodles. They took their ground meat, and instead of making meatballs, they wrapped their meat around the spaghetti noodles. And then stop laughing. It's not funny. They wrapped the ground turkey around spaghetti noodles. I'll say that instead because I know why he's laughing. And then they put it into a pan and they put their tomato sauce in and baked it in the oven. I was like, I want to try that. So I tried it this week, just out of the blue. We had the meat, we had the noodles, and then I decided to be more creative and I added butternut squash into the sauce. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to cook butternut squash in the oven in your tomato sauce, it is absolutely delicious. You don't need to add any spices. I would do it next time without even the noodles and the meat. Just cook my butternut squash in the sauce and bake it in the oven. I can't even explain the flavors. It was amazing. I absolutely loved it. So, and then the meal itself turned out really good too.
It was really good. I'm very lucky. He always experiments, and I just get the experiment final piece. Like I just get the taste.
And I'm pretty lucky as well because for being a very picky eater, I can make him eat things sometimes that I'm like, I hope he's gonna eat this.
If I don't like it, I tell him.
If he doesn't know, I don't.
That's why sometimes I don't even follow him in the kitchen.
That's why I don't tell him.
I don't want to know what's in it.
It's a little harder in this kitchen because it's open, so he can see. But
and I'm not as bad. I'm not about knowing. It's really my issue is really textures and certain flavors. Right? I don't like dill. So if you put anything with dill, even if I smell a dill pickle chip, I'll have to leave the room because I hate the smell of dill. Smell of mustard. If you're eating a hot dog in front of me and it's dripping in mustard and it's going in your hand and I see it and I smell it, I will hurl right in front of you, right there. There's no way controlling me. Like it's happened before. I cannot stand.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't not Paula's father-in-law who hates mustard as well? Like that was something he said yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I remember him saying, he's like, "Oh, I'm with you, Nick."
I can't stand the smell. Another one for me too is chocolate.
Well, Nick was extremely pleased that the cannolis had no chocolate on them. They were just custard and
someone who understands my plight.
No chocolate. Nick could have a cannoli.
I know, for the first time. I've never had one.
Cannolis.
That was my first time ever because they always have chocolate most of the time. Yeah, Paul, it was my first time ever. Yeah. I loved it. It's too. So I only had one. I was being good.
And she literally, they told us they have a stick that they wrap the dough around in order to bake the actual cannoli. I was like, it was made from scratch.
Yeah, it was so good. We had a good day yesterday.
Yeah,
it was a good food day. It was a Louis Vuitton food day.
It was totally Louis Vuitton.
Louis Vuitton food day. We completely enjoyed it.
Prada. It was my Tiffany. I had my Tiffany bag.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah, it was
all of it. Tiffany bag.
Yeah, my little Tiffany bag.
Oh, okay. I was saying, I thought they did jewelry.
They do, but they always.
I was like thinking, the bag, the Birkin bag. Birkin.
I think the Tiffany bag is just as popular as the little blue box. Like people are like, oh, I can't get rid of the bag.
Lisa says no chocolate. No, I am actually one of the few
chocolate
people
free since 1983.
Yeah, chocolate free since 1983. My mom, as a baby, tried to have me try chocolate pudding. I threw up, and I have never liked it since. I have never liked chocolate. The smell, even when he bakes, I actually have to leave. Like
she means on the cannoli.
Oh, yeah, no chocolate. Loved it. It was so good. Yeah, that's why my chocolate version is pretty bad. Like it used to be worse than my dill pickle, but they swapped. No, mustard was always the worst. Mustard is the worst smelling thing in the world. I don't know how people eat it. It just doesn't, to me, it doesn't make sense. Like I don't understand. Why are you putting Voltaren on your sandwich? I don't get it.
Voltaren on your sandwich. I love it. I love the comparison.
I
don't smell mint in my mustard or eucalyptus.
So let's now switch and pivot to another topic for today. We released a video yesterday, a video that people have been asking us to share for many, many months.
And it's on a topic that we talk a lot about, and it's a topic which is our 80-20, our
Yes.
80-20
Rule.
journey.
Yes.
And how we've applied this 80-20 rule to our life now, and where we apply it, and when we apply it, and why we apply it.
And we've had a lot of feedback on Facebook of people like, oh, wow, I understand now. Like, I understand what you guys mean by your 80-20. Someone even on Connect that asked me on the comments had said, so do you mean 80% of the time food, 20% of the time activity? And I was like, no, I was like, no, you'll have to watch the video, understand what I mean. I can't explain it in a comment. It's like the concept of the 80-20 is very hard to explain unless it's spoken to, because it's it applies differently to each person. So we encourage you to go look at the video if you want to understand what we're talking about, to understand how you can apply the same mentality to your own journey.
Yeah, and it's more of a
Rosie, you better not.
What?
I saw that in chat. No mustard. I'll do like a check. I'll do like a frisk or something when you do at the airport.
She might like that. Just saying, it's been a while, right?
Yeah.
But as far as the 80-20 goes, the 80-20 is more of a concept. It's a concept that you apply in your brain. It's not like you sit down and do a mathematical calculation.
Okay, there's 10 cookies this week. I'm eating eight
of them.
And the other 2 stay behind.
Yeah,
that's 80-20.
That's not how the 80-20 works.
No.
But it's applying that idea of I can be really good
80%
of the time, or a percentage of the time, and then another percentage I can be a little bit more
lackadaisical.
Forgiving,
yeah.
Forgiving is what I want to say.
Yeah.
I forgive myself for that other percentage. You get to play around with your own percentage.
Yeah.
We're not saying that the 80-20 is the only way we fall.
And we explained in the video why we can't.
It's a 10-90.
Yeah. Sometimes it's 50-50. Sometimes it's 10 on track and 90 the other way. It happens.
I will say this. Very rarely is it a 0.
Yes, that's the key. That was the key message we wanted to share in that video. We said at the beginning, and I know we're kind of talking a bit about it. Go watch it, get the full gist of what we're actually talking about, so you really understand what we're trying to say. But we came up with this concept because our lives, like most members of WW, you always hear, I'm off the program. I'm off WW. I'm not doing anything. I'm not tracking. I'm done. I'm not doing anything at all. I quit. I give up. And what happened with us is that we did that mentality for years, 6 years as members. We were paying members, always going, okay, we're joining in January. We're doing 100% on track. And then by March, we did maybe, we got 1 week where we did a little off, and then our weight started going up and say, this isn't working. We quit.
Love what Rennie and both Leslie said. First of all, about balance. So the 80-20 is really about learning how to balance your journey.
Life. Yeah.
Figure out what percentages balances you out. Also, what Leslie said, it's all or something, not all or nothing. What a great thing to think about. All or something. Why do we always have to say it's all one way or all another way? It's finding that gray matter.
And we always relate it back to, sometimes when some of you talk to us and you'll say, I can't track right now. I can't do this. Maybe we say, are you going for a walk? Yes, that's part of the 80-20 we're trying to talk to you guys about. A lot of us, when things aren't going right in one area, we just throw the towel on the entire thing. We just say, I'm not doing anything at all because this one area is not focused right now. And what we're saying is that if you can't focus here, maybe you can focus there.
Yeah.
And that's okay not to have 100%. You're still doing something, because what we did is every time we stopped, we went from extreme to extreme. 100% great. Then we went to 100% eating everything we wanted, not exercising, eating everything out of the book, drinking every week. That's what we used to do. We don't do that anymore. And we find ways to balance in everything we do in our lives.
We even have another NSV that we didn't even talk about.
Oh, what was it?
About last week when we were with my mom on the last day. We bought a bottle of Di Serono.
Oh, yes.
We did buy a bottle of Di Serono for the Saturday when my friend Lisa came to visit on the balcony with us. We had a few drinks. We had a few cocktails. We did not finish the bottle. We did not even bring it home with us. It is at my mom's house.
That would have never happened in the past.
Never. It would have been brought home with us. We would have drank it
home.
Yeah, we would have drank it there.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday would have been gone.
We would have drank it that entire night, but we didn't. We felt like we wanted a few cocktails, but we didn't have to have the entire bottle.
Yeah.
So yet again is saying, it's yet again saying, I can have an indulgence and I can apply my 80-20 to that bottle, to that night.
We applied it that night. We didn't even do the 80-20 night. We did 50-50 because we left half the bottle behind.
Yeah.
Which is something, again, we still indulge. We didn't free pour our drinks. We didn't make him like, oh yeah, this, you know what I mean? Like the typical 20s
And we also
drinking.
took into consideration that
Right?
we had been eating differently than we normally had. We've been eating a lot more sweets.
And my mom said we left some at her place too.
And we left. Oh, we do have some at your place.
We just.
Do we still have some now?
Every time we visit, we're like leaving like little little gift baskets. Just in case we show up, there's already one there. But that's the thing. We realized this time around that mentality of perfection, that mentality of always being perfect and always trying to achieve perfection always made us give up.
Yeah.
And so we had to come up with a concept, which was the 80-20 concept. And that's why we shared with you guys. I think a lot of people out there are perfectionists. And I think I can see that we all are. We all want to be the best at what we try to set ourselves up to do. And when we're not the best, we say, well, I'm not the best. I might as well just give up because I'm not going to be the best. And it's not going to work anyways. And then we give up on ourselves. We're trying to say you don't have to be the best. You just have to be there and present. That's all that matters.
And and present in your journey doesn't mean you're always you're only present when you reach every single goal you set out to have.
We left a little less on my mom's.
You can be present at any given time. You should be present at any given time in your journey.
Yeah.
We always say, don't let this journey pass you by without seeing the journey.
Yeah.
Be part of the journey. Don't wait for you to do the thing you've never done before you do smaller things.
You have to make me a priority.
Make you a priority,
right?
Definitely.
And the 80-20 rule applies to making yourself a priority because, again, if you tell yourself you're not going to succeed at something, if you push yourself to be so perfect and you realize from doing that you're discouraging yourself from doing anything, then that's not working for you. There's people out there, and there's a lot of people who are doing various programs out there, and we've seen them post. I've been at Lifetime for 20 years. I've been able to maintain. I've been able to do this. That's amazing that you can live that life, and you've been able to figure that out. But us, that has not worked for us. We're not a goal right now. Does that mean that we throw in the towel because we've gained weight this summer? Do we throw in the towel because say, no, you know what, we gain anyways, might as well just eat whatever we want all summer. We'll come back in January and start back up again. That was our old mentality.
That's not who we are anymore.
We're trying our best every day, even during the week. It doesn't matter that we indulged yesterday. It's what we're doing today that matters now.
And because of my 100 and some odd point day yesterday, am I going to get mad at myself today? No. What's that going to do? How's that going to help me today?
How's that going to help me move on tomorrow? How's that going to help me make a better choice tomorrow? It's not. And so we've learned from doing this for so long that being your best friend, your cheerleader, and finding ways to make that happen to you consistently is the best way to make you succeed on this journey. You have to be your best friend. You have to love yourself today, now, as who you are. And I think that brings us perfect into our topic of today that I want to talk about. So the topic this week at WW is self-confidence. It's about talking and being proud of yourself, me. And a lot of us do this journey because we want to.
Well, we do this journey because we want to be better people. We think we want to be better people, and we think that that's what this journey is all about.
Or we think we want to do it for other people.
Yes,
for
we're not doing it
for
our
wives, our children, right?
But also, a lot of times when we talk about self-confidence, we're afraid that we're boasting.
Yes,
and we sometimes confuse that idea of I'm proud of what I've accomplished, but think people are going to judge me because I'm telling everybody that I'm doing something. And that's unfortunately not what it's all about. Being proud of what you've accomplished is not boasting. It's you need to celebrate those moments. You need to talk about it. You need to be proud of who you are and what you do, no matter what it is. And I think sometimes we forget that in this journey. We sometimes think, or we hear other people saying, well, they can do that, but I can't. Mm-hmm. But guess what? You can do what you can do, and don't compare yourself to somebody else. And I'm going to use an example. Someone posted something earlier today in a body comment. I'm not going to say names, but there was a comment of, and they love the class, and they're like, I was only able to do about 50%. And my reply to that person was, no, you did 100% of what you were able to do. Don't say you only did 50%. You did 100% of what you were able to do in that class.
And that 100% will grow in time.
Exactly.
That 100% might become 75% of the class eventually.
Of what you're able to do.
But that's okay. That's your 100. Your 100 is measured in you, not in anybody else's 100. It's your 100. It's what you're capable of doing. You can't measure your success, your strength based on what others can do, right? Because again, we are all different. I am 38. Jean-Luc is 44. we have to
He likes
understand that.
rubbing that in my nose.
Yeah, I do it all the time. He knows it. I always tell him when he was in high school, I was in primary school. When he finished high school, I was still in primary school. I always tell him all the time. Anyways, so
Did I say that?
yes, you did.
I know. I did it on purpose.
So for us, like I said, our ages are different. So I have to understand that what I can do in terms of activity, I can't expect him to be able to do the exact same thing as me. I can't. We can't compare to each other. We can't. We are both different people. And not just that, I've known Jean-Luc for years. He has back issues. He has back pain. I've never had that issue. So right there again is another area where I have to make sure that what he does and I do is something that we can both be able to do. Because I could still do body attack. I know I could, but for him, near the end, it caused him to get hurt. So why would I want to push him to do an activity that's hurting him in the long run? No, we'll find something else that we can do together. And doesn't mean that I'm doing anything less. Doesn't mean that what I'm doing is my less percentage of what I'm able to achieve. No, I'm doing 100% of something else. And I'm not destroying what I can achieve, and I'm not making him feel bad about his 100% as well.
No, and that's exactly it. You can't feel bad for what other people are able to do.
Yeah.
Right? That's not being confident. Just being proud of what you're able to accomplish, because not everybody can do what you do. And I think we sometimes forget that, because what we're able to do really well, we don't notice it anymore because it's second nature. It sometimes takes other people to recognize it in us for us to realize that, wow, I actually am good at doing that.
Yeah.
Right? So confidence comes from within,
experience,
and comes with experience, and it comes from time. It comes with time.
And guys, like a lot of people look at us and say, wow, you guys are confident. You talk like openly, public speaking. Yeah, we're still both very nervous guys. When before a step class every day, we're nervous. We're a pack of nerds because we're like worried that we're going to mess up, which we do every single class anyways. And you guys laugh at us. It's okay. We mess up every time. You should have seen, oh my God, yesterday, we completely messed up an entire track. Like, I don't know how people follow us because we're like, okay, back kick step now. It's not even a move that exists. And we're trying to, like, it made no sense. We got through the song, but we're not perfect either.
But you know what it is? You guys have confidence in us that we won't mislead you.
Exactly.
Right? And we can give confidence to other people. It's not just about having our own confidence, but we're able to give other people that confidence. And we confide in people all the time. This group of people that are in this room, we know people tell each other things.
Yeah.
And we know that things are shared in workshops that really are part of this whole idea of building that confident and strong.
Joyce said it right there. She's seen us before class.
Yeah.
She just said they do get you nervous for every class. We do, guys. And I'm nervous even during class, like during our sessions. Like, I'm drenched in sweat right now because I get nervous in front of public speaking.
I think it's adrenaline for him a little bit.
It's both. I get nervous. I'm like,
but again, I've said this as well. Excitement and being nervous, they kind of play hand in hand.
Yeah,
they kind of play the trick on you, right? You could sometimes, if you look at if you actually analyze the moment if you start to notice a moment where you're nervous, and then start realizing another moment when you're excited, see how similar those two emotions are.
And not just that, guys, we'll be honest, we were both guys who love pleasing people. Obviously, you guys know this of us. Like, we always try to make sure so when we mess up, we feel bad.
Yeah.
Because we feel like, oh, we're not giving everybody the professional.
Yet again, we don't apply what we're able to do at that given time is our 100%.
See what I mean? Like, even though we preach this stuff, we still have a hard time applying it and practicing it, right? It's very hard to practice that kind of mentality.
My God, we haven't shut up for the last hour.
So I was gonna bring Devin up. No, we had Paula join us for a bit.
We did have Paula. Poor lady barely got to talk.
Hi, boys. How are you?
Okay. Oh, 1 second. And of course, our speaker decides not to.
So keep talking for now.
I'll keep talking. Yeah,
So
we didn't want to talk to anybody. It was all about us.
Our speaker always clonks out on us after a while.
I don't know why it does that. It's very weird.
You think a speaker would just stay on.
Hi, Devin. How are you?
Hey, Devin.
I'm good. How are you, boys?
We're fantastic.
Fantastic. John looks a little lobstery today.
I'm a little red. Look at this.
He got a sunburn.
I got some really good color yesterday. And yes, I did have sunscreen on, Mom.
Yeah. Well, looks like you're gonna have a good peel, Jean-Luc.
We'll see. I might not.
We'll see.
I've been lathering it up with some aloe vera lotion.
Yeah, we've been aloe veraing it for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree with what you guys are saying about the whole confidence and all that, but I've been getting a lot of steps in, with your names on them.
We love
And-
steps.
And
I
you
could
guys
really use
can
them for my Fitbit bingos.
Yeah. I also want to tell you boys that I lost 3 pounds.
Wow, phenomenal.
That's awesome, Devin. Superstar.
And
What are you? What's the biggest change that you've made that
Allowed you
you're-
to get that to that point.
that you're feeling that this is bringing me on the right path right now? What's the one thing you would think is bringing you on this right path right now?
right now, a lot of things have changed since before I started back work at the club. I used to go a lot of Weight Watcher meetings, a lot before I started back at work, but now I'm down to maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But I'd rather come and see you guys every Sunday to help me get myself motivated.
We love
Yeah.
having you here every Sunday with us, Devin.
I'm hearting a donut for you.
Thank you. But and I've been getting a lot of steps. Even
That's
already.
awesome. And Devin, you keep doing what you're doing. You're doing amazing. Keep up the upbeat attitude. Keep trying your steps every day. Keep going at it. And this is all about, because guys, it's a forever journey. So you're always going to be trying to get those steps. So keep crying. Yeah.
Be proud and
Yes.
confident in everything you do, no matter what.
Yeah, Devin.
Well, you guys are so adorable. You guys are my
Aw.
brothers. And
Thank you.
just want to give you guys more steps that you guys want.
Awesome. Love it. Keep it going, Devin. Keep it going. Love you.
I will. Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye. And then we have Naomi here. Hey, Naomi. How's it
Hi.
going? Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
I love how Jean-Luc was like, I put sunscreen on mommy. And then the aloe vera, I was like, yes.
Yeah, we're fair skinned. We burn a lot. Like as
Yeah,
a kid,
me too.
I burnt often. So we do apply, and Paul can attest. We did put on sunscreen. I think what happened, I think it was like
Probably yes.
we applied it a few times because I think the sun, we don't go out often, right? We're not by
Right,
water.
And when we do,
often.
we're walking. So it's a walk, and we're
Yeah.
not just in one spot. And that yesterday we stood a lot,
Sat a lot.
sat a lot. We were
For sure.
sitting a lot.
We also run water with
On
the
water a lot.
reflection, and yeah.
It's so interesting with the confidence thing because for me, I was a painfully shy child. And when I tell people that, they look at me, they're like, really? And I was like, yeah, I was painfully, right, Nick? And that's what triggered me wanting to share because I was painfully shy. I also did not speak until I was 3 years old. And people are like, really? Because now I can't stop talking. And because I was the youngest, I would point, everyone would be like, what do you want? My mom got nervous. The pediatrician was like, stop talking for her and put her in
Yeah.
school.
I remember you mentioning that. actually.
Right?
During your
Right?
high, I think, right?
Pardon?
During your Have You Met interview, I think you talked about that actually.
Yeah, it was at a
What?
work. It was at on a
Maybe it was. I know it was at some point. Yeah.
Time.
So
Yeah.
it's just interesting because when I tell people that, they're like, really? It's just like a role reversal. And there's the other thing with the life jacket. I've had that experience too because when I've worked at camp, I was in
Yeah.
the middle of my weight loss my first 2 summers at camp, and to have to do the bigger one to make it looser. I've had that experience. And then summers moving forward, I've had to make it smaller because it's bigger. But the one thing in my weight loss that didn't shrink was my chest. Right? So
some ladies would be happy with that.
Yeah.
right, not always. Not
Mine
always. 'cause,
shrunk a
like,
bit.
right? Like my fingers shrunk, my feet shrunk 2 sizes, like my waist shrunk, but like my chest did not shrink. So like that's the one part where I live with the life jacket, I still have to make it bigger. And I'm like,
It's funny though. It's funny though because it's funny how our weights are all disappearing. They all disappear from different places, right?
Right.
Like mine was my legs, my butt. Like Jean-Luc was like his neck. Jean-Luc's neck.
I've
is like,
never had a neck before.
like I mean like he had a neck before. Now it's like I can actually do this now. You know what I
right.
mean? I
So
couldn't
for
do that.
me,
I couldn't kill him before. Now I can.
no, there you go. But for me, it's like, yeah, my behind and my chest were the 2 things that did not shrink in the weight loss. Everything else shrunk. But it's interesting. You also talked about like you getting excited. Like I get excited about things too, and I go nuts, which is why I love being a primary school teacher and why I love specifically being kindergarten. Because like my father hates when I say this, because he's like, you're not being mature. But like in my head, I'm like, I'm the same age as my students. So I'm one step ahead of them because I always know what they're going to do because I'm one step ahead of them. Right.
And you know what, for me, like, and thank you so much for sharing, Naomi. But what I want to say is that for me, the excitement is like, it's for me, it lets me be a kid again. You can't be like that at work. No, you're at work, you have to be professional. You always have to have a stoic face on. So for me, when I get to go do other things, is when I can be the kid me, right? And so I get to act and be who I want to be.
Right. And for me, I'm very lucky where I'm in a profession where like I can be a kid and I'm okay. And like in certain parts of my job, I can still act like a kid, and that's okay. And that's being professional. Right. So it's and I'm lucky that way.
You know what? There's a time and a place for being that having that childlike attitude at any place.
Right. Because when I have conversations with parents, I need to like, there's definitely like a little bit of lax with it, but I still need to be super professional in a lot of ways. So like,
of course, I think any job, it doesn't matter.
Thank you, Naomi.
I think you need to find that 80-20 in that as well, right?
And we talked about that in the video, how we apply 80-20 to our life,
everything,
finances, our lives. We always apply that mentality to everything, because again, perfectionism is not just in wellness. We apply perfectionism to everything we do in our lives. I want to be the perfect mom, the perfect teacher. What if I was an 80% mom? Well, I don't have to be 100% all the time. I want to strive for 100%, but I'm not that bad if today I'm an 80% mom.
And I'm going to bring this up because we're watching Sex and the City again. And there's a part in the movie where Charlotte? Yeah. Charlotte is upset because she's not the perfect mother. And she's like, I'm a bad mom because I want alone time. You're not a bad mom if you want alone time. You deserve it. Why do we put these mentalities on, oh, I'm bad if I'm not giving myself to everybody else, but not giving myself time? That's not fair. That's absolutely not fair. So take that in consideration. Give yourself
You're not being
time.
a bad person for wanting some alone time.
No.
Like that's the thing about the 80%, the 80-20 rule. It was a way for us to stop being so hard on ourselves, because we were so hard on ourselves in life because we're trying to be perfect, and we're not perfect. We're like, oh my God, I'm such a failure.
It's creating that boundary line and knowing that the boundary is not a wall.
Yeah.
It is movable.
Because it'll be funny, guys. Some things that we used to do 80-20 have become 100 now. Some things that we used to add in moderation back in the day have now become 100%, because it's something that, you know what, it wasn't that important to us anymore. So we became 100% on track all the time now. And I'm using on track as a term, not as in saying it means anything.
We're following the program.
No, we're just saying, like, for example, I think an example would be alcohol is a big example, because we used to drink all the time, all year.
Weekends,
every weekend, all year.
We would drink.
And when we first started our journeys all the time, it was like we would get rid of it fully. I know we would never get rid of it. Nope. And then when we started this time, we got rid of it fully for a while, and then we brought it back. But we've never brought it back the 80-20 route that we used to do.
No, we're about a 30-70 with drinking.
Maybe 10-90.
Yeah,
we barely drink on weekends now. We only do it when we have events.
Yeah, or we might go through like a month where we do every weekend, and then we stop for a lengthy period of time as well. Like there's no balance, and we don't sit there and calculate it and make sure, well, we did 80% this time, now we have to only do 20% next time, or 70. We don't do that. We really don't.
So we thank everyone for joining us tonight. Patricia,
don't go anywhere, Patricia.
Stick your hand up. We'll catch you right to you after we end up.
I know you have a crazy week coming, and I want to know about it.
Yeah. So thank you for those for joining us tonight, everyone. So this week, A Body Set Volume 2 returns. We did Volume 1 last week. This week, we're doing Volume 2 again. So that's Thursday at 6:30 p.m., Saturday, August 14th at 10 a.m., and Sunday, August 15th at noon. We are working on our fall schedule. There will be some weekday sessions during the mornings as well. We're trying to see if we can do some morning sessions as well. So there'll be a whole new calendar of dates.
Yeah, we're working with Antonetta right now to get that scheduled. Yeah. So keep an eye out for that. That will be coming out soon. We also have a new video coming out on Saturday, and it's Have You Met Arlene?
Yes, I think she's here tonight.
Our amazing Arlene is actually going to be, her video comes out next Saturday at
it's an amazing interview. It's really insightful.
Awesome video.
If you guys enjoyed all the other ones, it's the same vein. We've had really good discussions, and everybody takes it from a different angle, which was really nice to have different angles.
We wanted. You know, everybody's journey is different, and we need to learn about them.
We already have 6 new people lined up for the next round.
Next round of
interviews. So we're really happy with that as well.
Who knows? We might change the format a little bit.
Yeah, we always
like
play with
things.
So, and then Arlene is joining us as our guest co-host on August 22nd. Woo-woo! So she's on screen right now. I have you on. I just want to say a quick hi, Arlene.
Hi, everybody. Hope you're all having a great summer.
And
So
so
look forward to seeing you on the
yay!
22nd.
We're excited. We're
We
excited.
can't wait to have
we
you as
can't
a
wait.
host with us.
Thanks, Arlene. So we also have coming out August 21st, our favorite things.
Which is it's
It used to be called Beauvais,
Beauvais, but they no longer exist. It's now called Nor Concentrated Broth.
and they have new flavors.
And so it's kind of a really funny video because
Yes.
it's a
we fight on it
Yeah,
about
it's a
what
little-
video is it? Is it a favorite thing, or is it?
do we like the way it tastes?
So we fight about it on it a little bit.
They
So
have new flavors.
yes, there's new flavors of the products, which we to actually show you the new flavors, how we use them. We also hint of a new recipe coming out with one of the flavors in the future.
Because something's been discontinued that we really love that we want to recreate
Another favorite thing,
ourselves.
yeah.
Yes.
And then we have a new recipe coming out on August 28th, our meatball
Meatball
sub
sub.
recipe made with 2-ingredient dough. It is amazing. I remember I was watching the video today and I was salivating as I was seeing the pictures.
And it was big, so you could probably make
Oh,
one
yeah.
and share it with somebody.
yeah,
and
you can
be
share.
Very definitely. share.
Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa. If I can turn back time.
Whoa. And that's it for tonight.
That's it for tonight.
So thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed being here tonight. All about you or me, right?
And I want you all to sit down and make a list of the things that you are proud of and that you are confident in.
Yes.
Things that you are confident in. List them out so you don't forget them.
Yeah. Be proud of yourself. Don't give up. Keep trying. Keep coming back to yourself. This is all about you and your
are
journey
the
and your
number
life.
one priority in your
Exactly.
life.
So I'm going to share our usual end of show presentation.
And I'm gonna sing.
You're gonna sing.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay,
Dun,
so
dun, dun.
yeah, can I talk first though?
No.
Okay, so you can join us on our Facebook group on Jean-Luc and Nick the Wellness Warrior VIPs. You can also find us on our Facebook page, Jean-Luc and Nick the Wellness Warriors.
You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, TikTok, and connect at the WW Gaze.
Visit our website, jeanlucandnick.com.
And you can find our recipes at jeanlucandnick.com/recipes. We actually have a new welcome video on our group as well that shows you how to use the group, shows you how to use the announcements. We love the new announcement features in the Facebook groups where you can actually pin them on top and find things.
And if you look for that video, you can actually get all the instructions on how to join our activity challenges, our tracking challenges, everything about our group, our recipes, finding all our videos, everything.
And if I'm not mistaken, our Google
Google
Sheets document is now open and available for everybody to actual peruse. You no longer have to ask for access.
Exactly. And then you can also send us an email at www.gays@gmail.com or send us a letter at PO Box 91152, Bayview Village, Willowdale, Ontario, M2K2Y6. Now you can sing, honey.
I'm
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Da 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 da